The story highlights the misinformation and mistruths spread by the colonial empire. How important do you think such a subject is in today's post truth era?
No, it's extremely important. One of the reasons why I wanted to make this film was because it was a story set in the 1920s, but it spoke to today's times. If you see, the first case that we have in the film is Shankaran Nair convicting a poet for his poetry, for his seditious poetry. And that is something which happens around us all the time. There's this famous Pablo Neruda quote, which kind of became the motivating factor for this film. So he had famously said that empires perish because they listen to their lawyers and ministers and not to their poets. So and that kind of was the motivating factor for the first case, where we wanted to highlight that poets, just because they write seditious poetry, does not mean that they are terrorists.
Yeah.
Does not mean that we ought to hold them accountable just for their thoughts, just for their words. And from there on, you're absolutely right that the fake news narrative that the Britishers engaged back in the day is bone chilling. To first order a massacre and then to call innocent children terrorists and spread that narrative through their newspapers is something that which is rampant even today in the times that we live in. So, which is why a movie like this becomes pertinent in today's climate, because we see this happening around us all the time, and it's incumbent upon us to talk about it. And this is what makes Shankaran Nair's story more legendary, because at that time he demolished this entire narrative.